Today's video, we're going to check out a step-by-step process of swapping out an old radiator for a new radiator. This radiator is starting to leak out of one of the tanks here on the driver's side. It makes a little bit of smoke, steam actually, that comes up while the car is warm. The radiator cap was already checked to make sure that it wasn't that. So instead of getting the radiator repaired, we're just going to go ahead and swap it out with the radiator that we ordered. Online from a local auto parts store. They had free shipping and 20% off online orders. So there we go. Comes with a little installation guide. It's a lifetime warranty. Looks like we're looking at the bottom, so it's going to slide in this way. So I'm going to go grab up some tools so that we can start to take off this area. The grill right here looks like 10mm, some Phillips screws, and then we'll get a better look at where the radiator is. Looks like this may have to come off too since this arm is in the way. So let me grab some tools and I'll be right back. Alright, I got a little parts tray here to put our parts. Now I'm going to have to take the hoses off and drain it. We've been filling it for a while, so I don't anticipate that there's that much antifreeze in it. I'm just going to let it go out on the ground. Just mainly want to get a better look at it. Now I mentioned these were 10mm, but I guess that's 3/8. Looks like there's some pop-out tabs right here. Actually, I might not need to take that off. Alright, we should be pretty loose, and we are. Alright, from this view we can kind of see where it was leaking over here by this tank. There's some rust stains, some water stains. So that's ultimately the reason why we're replacing it. Alright, I'm going to loosen a few more things up here on top, and then I'm going to take the hoses off and let it drain. Alright, looks like we have some brackets here. I think new grommets are provided. I'm going to keep this bracket, grommet, and everything together with the screw at a different location with the new radiator. Alright, that's out of the way. Slowly freeing up more room. I'm not liking that this is crimped onto this radiator. Right here. So I'll have to find a hose clamp. We'll probably have to cut that off. Looks like we've got a little bit of slack, so. Alright. Good sign, huh? Mud divers. Alright, this is looking a little more complicated than I anticipated. Apparently the fans are screwed to one side of the radiator and the air conditioner and transmission cooler are on the other. Alright, for the next part I'm going to loosen these two 3/8 screws that are holding the fan assembly to the radiator. Hopefully I can get in there. I anticipate that they should just lift out of their little bracket, and they do. Score one for the engineering team. And to this side appears to have one more tap. Oh. And it's just a push-in, so. Alright, the rear of the radiator is mostly free. Now I have to reach in there, and there is, let's see if you can see this. There is a screw right here holding the condenser on both sides. Looks to be 3/8, and after I get that loose, this forward air conditioning part should come out of its bracket on the bottom, and I'll be able to move it slightly forwards. Then we'll undo the radiator and it should lift out. Oh, you know what? It apparently is not crimped on. Good thing I went that way. Okay, so that's done. Side's out too. Now, let's see if we can lift this out. Alright, it's going to be a little tight, but it's time now to disconnect the hoses. So these are compression fittings on these hoses, so I'm just going to use some channel locks and squeeze those. I guess I can show you once I get them out. Guess I should have taken two of that, right? Because it would have been a lot cooler if you wouldn't have saw all that. Alright. Alright, in case you're curious, this is what the hose clamp looks like. And you just try to get the pliers or channel locks on there, squeeze the clamp, and you can see now it moves freely. And then when you put it where you want it, let it go, and it clamps the hose tight. Alright, now we're going to get the one on the bottom, which is going to be the messy one, because that's going to let all of the water and leftover coolant out. Alright, I've jacked the car up a little bit just to give myself a little more working room, and I was careful to put some safety stands underneath. Hopefully this won't start leaking until I'm out of the way. Woo! Looks like there's still coolant in there. Okay, so ideally now the radiator would lift right out, but if that's not going to happen, the air conditioner, I got to get this cleared of the bottom brackets on both sides. One side is easily cleared, this other side is not. Alright. Cleared on one side. Get this fan out a little more. so here we're looking at, hoping you can see both sides of the radiator. This area nice and lumen shiny, and the other area obvious evidence of leakage. Looks a little scaly in here, so it looks like somewhere up in here we had a leak and that was causing our problems. So I'm not sure what they'll give you at the scrapyard for one of these, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, now we'll do a little visual inspection on the new part just to verify it's a match, and also make sure that we don't have to swap out any hardware. Alright, and I already see there is some hardware that needs to be swapped. Some clips on the top and the bottom. Alright, I have to say, I'm not so sure about this whole bracket. It doesn't appear to want to go on here, and they don't appear to have included the lips for the nuts to attach. Alright, so we're back after a little reading break. Turns out that metal bracket does not get reinstalled, so we will leave it off. Don't want to damage. Alright, now if we just remembered which way these puppies go, it looks like they go like this, huh? Alright, and then the last thing are the nut retainers up top. And there, we are ready to install the new radiator. Alright, so here comes the more dangerous part. Don't want to mess up any of our components. So far, so good. Looks like it's actually the radiator hose holding us up on this side. Alright. I don't think we were in right, but we are in now. Radiator doesn't slip from side to side. So, done. The fans were pretty easy to get back on. I think I'm going to start with this front. Coolant. Well, can't beat that. That's in. That fan is in. And that fan is in. Believe it or not, other than a few screws and to reattach the hoses, everything's in. Alright, go ahead and tighten these up. Now when you tighten these up, be mindful, even though they're going into steel, they're going into retainers, so they don't need to go too tight. You can very easily strip them out. That is a wrap. One quick check to make sure the hood closes and opens. Opens. So last thing to do now is to reattach the bottom radiator hose and go ahead and fill it with coolant. Should be ready to go. I bought some concentrated antifreeze. We're gonna go ahead and put 1 gallon of this in and then fill it the rest of the way with water. And then when we refill the coolant tank, we'll just put only coolant in there. Okay, I'm back with some water. All that's left now is to start it up, let it heat up, see how it does, and that's it. So, hopefully you found that video helpful. Maybe you have a Dodge Caravan, or maybe you have some other vehicle. It's pretty much the same. I've done it on other cars before too. You just have to be careful that you don't damage any of the fins on the new radiator or the transmission AC fins that are also located in the front right there. Just, you know, be careful. You can put a little bit of muscle into it, but be mindful of what you're working around. So if you have any questions, leave them below, or any comments. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That goes a long way. Check out our sponsors. Our sponsors are what make videos like this possible. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.